Patrick Bet David just incinerated Angel Reese with the kind of savage takedown that could have its own halftime show. He didn't just respond, he unloaded a truth grenade so massive, it left no wiggle room. Let's be clear, no level of branding, bravado, or TikTok filters is going to make Angel Reese into Caitlin Clark. Not in stats, not in impact, and certainly not in public support. If you thought WNBA drama had peaked, think again. This latest clash is like if reality TV met SportsCenter and decided to film a soap opera with a shot clock. It's wild, it's unfiltered, and it's time we dive in before Angel comes up with another publicity stunt that sends the internet into meltdown mode. You know what I love watching? I love watching her highlights of missing shots. She's gotta be the worst shooter you've met in your life. Patrick did what most basketball fans have been thinking but biting their tongues on. He yanked the emergency cord on the runaway train of Angel Reese hype before it crashed into the mountain of make-believe. And the timing? Impeccable. What was once a budding sports rivalry has evolved into a full-blown media circus, complete with Twitter brawls, racial hot takes, political think pieces, and ESPN personalities crying into their ring lights. We're now operating in a basketball multiverse where stats matter less than storylines, and the drama never takes a timeout. For the poor souls who missed it, Caitlin Clark, America's jump-shooting darling, record breaker, and the only WNBA player who's made millions care again, was playing an ordinary, sweaty, high-stakes basketball game. Enter Angel Reese, who apparently thought it was WrestleMania. If Caitlin is the league's breath of fresh air, Angel's the gust of wind that knocks over the table and blames the weather. The matchup was set, the lights were bright, and the moment of impact came with a shove, a flop, and enough acting to qualify for an Emmy nomination. Here's what actually happened. Clark committed a foul, nothing major. But Angel decided to go full Hollywood, shoving Clark's teammate and then hurling herself to the floor like she'd been hit by Thor's hammer. Theatrics so over the top even a soccer referee would have raised an eyebrow. I've seen less drama in reality TV elimination episodes. And yet, this one play ignited the entire WNBA conversation like gasoline on a bonfire. Instantly, the moment stopped being about basketball. Suddenly everyone had a take. Race, gender, media bias, respectability politics, you name it, it got dragged into the mix. What was a foul turned into a political manifesto? People forgot the score, but they remembered the hashtags. It was less about hoops and more about headlines. Then in came Robert Griffin III, known affectionately as RG3, former NFL quarterback, ESPN analyst, and part-time Instagram philosopher. He made the catastrophic mistake of, brace yourself, saying something nice about Caitlin Clark. That's right, he praised her. After watching Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese and the aftermath, there is no way Angel Reese can continue the lie that she doesn't dislike Caitlin Clark. I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Not some basketball rivalry hate either. Hate. The horror. Within minutes, the social justice sirens went off and keyboard warriors prepared for battle. Enter Ryan Clark, also of ESPN, who took things from debate to let me see your marriage license. That's right. Ryan suggested RG3's opinion on Angel Reese was invalid because he's married to a white woman. Suddenly, basketball turned into a sociology midterm. Apparently, RG3 can't praise Clark unless his family tree checks certain boxes. Meanwhile, while this absurd distraction dominated social media, Angel Reese was having a performance so dreadful it should have come with a warning label. Shooting 22.7% from the field? That's not just bad, that's... Are we sure the basket was real? Bad. She missed more than a spam filter in your inbox. The only thing consistent about her game that night was the bricklaying. Well, my goodness. Angel Reese is getting absolutely obliterated today for all kinds of reasons. Obviously, we're going to look at the backlash because now people are just flat calling it like they sees it. They're saying an Angel Reese lied about a race hoax, just like Bubba Wallace, just like Jesse Smollett, and now, after the WNBA concluded their investigation and released the statement, people are demanding Angel Reese apologize to everybody, and yet, somehow, the narrative twisted into Clark being the problem. Clark, who's breaking records, drawing millions of viewers, and keeping the WNBA from flatlining. Reese hurls up bricks and theatrics, and she's called a queen. Clark hits logo threes and she's privileged. It's like we're watching two different realities, one governed by performance and one by popularity contests. Apparently, metrics like points, assists, and shooting percentage are now up for debate if you can deliver a good enough post-game quote about sisterhood. All the while, Caitlin Clark continues showing up, putting in work, taking hits, and somehow still being painted as the reason the league isn't thriving like it's 2095. It's as if she invented the league's problems just by existing and excelling. Then comes Brittany Greener, entering stage left like a plot twist. In a moment of what must have been record-setting irony, she complains that it's disruptive having all these new fans watching. Yes, a professional athlete was essentially upset about people watching her profession. Someone please send her a sympathy latte. The horror of being successful. She just wanted a quiet afternoon game in front of her friends and family. But now the arenas are full, and it's all Caitlin Clark's fault for bringing in that pesky thing called attention from Brittany. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there, watching on purpose. It's very disruptive. It's called the freaking game that they pay your money to play. Don't play the game. It's very disruptive. Here's the deal. Clark didn't sign up to be the WNBA's chaos magnet. She signed up to play ball. But every time she steps on the court, she drags an entire media narrative behind her like a jet engine pulling a broken plane. And Angel Reese, instead of leveling up, seems more interested in stirring the pot and taking dives. Meanwhile, ESPN's got its own internal beef over who gets to talk about her, based on their romantic affiliations. What Patrick Bet-David did was bring clarity to the circus. He didn't mince words, didn't hide behind buzzwords or performative hashtags. He said what needed to be said. Caitlin Clark is the reason people are watching, full stop. Angel Reese isn't helping with her antics. She's hurting. You can't market progress on top of pettiness. And you definitely can't build a league while taking cheap shots at the one player actually building something. Funny get paid. Possibility. Reese has been vocal about her low WNBA salary, revealing her $74,000 a year salary doesn't cover rent, stating on Instagram Live, "I just hope you know that the WNBA doesn't pay my bills at all. I don't even think they'd pay one of my bills." Reese's financial struggles stem from WNBA salary not matching her past earnings, as her NIL valuation at LSU was $1.8 million, bolstered by deals with Reebok, PlayStation, McDonald's, and Coach, while a 4-year rookie deal was $324,000 with $74,000 due next season. Look, Brittany, if the concept of being observed while playing professional basketball is somehow shocking, there's an easy fix for that. Maybe skip the whole playing professionally in front of paying fans part. It's not exactly a surprise twist. Being seen is part of the deal. You're not hooping at your cousin's backyard BBQ. There are TV cameras, season tickets, social media clips, and oh yeah, millions of curious eyes. It's a sport and a show. That's literally the gig. And just when it looked like no one in the room had the guts to say it, in comes Patrick Bet-David, swooping in like the last adult at a daycare full of toddlers, armed with Twitter accounts and grudge-filled press passes. While WNBA executives stress-sip their matcha smoothies and team owners nervously rearrange their equity portfolios, PBD steps up with the clarity of a man who's watched enough nonsense to call it what it is. A circus, and the clowns are in full uniform. Then came the stat drop, the verbal equivalent of a full-court buzzer beater to the face. Bet-David pointed to the elephant in the locker room. Angel Reese's field goal percentage, sitting at a chilling 22.7%. That's not just off. That's, are we sure the hoop exists? Bad. That's, did you accidentally download a bricklaying simulator? Bad. That's, call the Ghostbusters. This rim is haunted. Bad. Let's break that down. If you spun in a circle 3 times, covered your eyes, tossed the ball behind your back while doing the cha-cha slide in fuzzy socks, you might still outshoot Angel Reese on a good night. Accuracy isn't just missing from the resume, it's filed a restraining order. And meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here shattering records, boosting TV ratings, selling out arenas, and trending across multiple platforms, while her peers are busy rage posting, blaming the fans, and launching jumpers with all the aim of a blindfolded cat. This isn't a league problem, it's a logic problem. Not because they're rooting against Caitlin, though some clearly are, but because her presence is the only reason the spotlight is on the league in the first place. Remove her, and it's crickets. The WNBA without Caitlin Clark is like The Office without Michael Scott. Technically still alive, but painfully wondering what went wrong. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is out here demanding bouquets like she just nailed a buzzer beater in the finals. Look, I get it. Confidence is key, but maybe bank more than 2 buckets before expecting a florist to name a rose after you. And here's where it gets really messy. Caitlin Clark once said, "I want to say I've earned everything I have, but as a white person, I have privilege." A moment of self-awareness, right? A quote that should have earned her respect, maybe a slow clap. Instead, it got her steamrolled by the very people who claim to support equality. Because the real issue here isn't dominance, it's who is dominating. Being elite while white in a league that's currently playing identity politics like it's a second sport is suddenly controversial. Let's be real. Clark didn't just show up, she arrived with ticket sales, sponsors, and the kind of buzz that networks dream about. And instead of rallying around that momentum, some WNBA players are acting like she's the new landlord evicting them from their own league. Brittany Griner says the vibes are toxic. Ryan Clark decides RG3 can't speak because his wife is white. Jamel Hill's out here trying to rebrand Angel Reese as the second coming of Jordan. And Twitter's treating Clark praise like it's a colonial land grab. Here's the reality check. If Caitlin Clark were average and quiet, they'd call her humble. If Angel Reese were putting up 40-point triple-doubles, no one would bat an eye at her volume. But we're not living in that world. We're in one where star power is now seen as a threat instead of a gift, and criticism is treated like betrayal. What we're seeing is a league more allergic to success than to losing streaks, where humility is scarce, and where division is spreading faster than trade rumors before the deadline. Patrick Bet-David didn't just say what needed to be said, he bulldozed through the excuses. Angel Reese is not Caitlin Clark, and more importantly, she's not even in the same hemisphere. She's not Michael Jordan. Honestly, she's not even Dennis Rodman without the rebounds. Until Angel realizes that the WNBA owes her nothing but a box score, nothing will change. Respect doesn't come with the uniform. It comes with results. Let your game speak louder than your followers. Want the spotlight? Earn it. Want the headline? Score it. Want the respect? Don't just demand it, deserve it. And this whole Caitlin Clark privilege narrative, it's a smokescreen. She's earned everything. The fans, the contracts, the stats, and unfortunately, the jealousy too. Because let's be honest, this league would be playing in half-empty gyms if not for her. And if she comes back from this injury and casually drops another 30, brace yourself, because the drama will only get messier and the comparisons even more desperate. Here's the bottom line. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent. Angel Reese is a loud distraction. There's a difference. One lifts the league, the other clogs the conversation. And if the WNBA thinks it can ride the wave of drama while sidelining its only real draw, then congratulations, they've discovered the playbook for mediocrity. You want equality? Earn it. You want the spotlight? Deliver. Otherwise, don't be shocked when Caitlin Clark keeps winning hearts, and Angel Reese just keeps whining.